might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Please offer me your energy. I ask of you, please!
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing this morning? Today is Friday, November 3rd, 2023, the third day of November, which means we are creeping closer and closer to the end of the year. And with that in mind, we have some stories about that today, about we're getting closer to the end of the year and how things are looking. But if you do not know who I am your favorite coach, Tech Coach Ralph. I am not, I repeat, I am not a life coach. I am a technical coach helping you level up in your technical skills, how to navigate the job market, the job industry, the skills you need to get. Because a lot of times we will go and take a course or something like that, or a boot camp, and they teach us the knowledge to do the job, but not the knowledge on how to land the job and interact with the people in the job. They don't teach us about the principles of Agile, Scrum, using Jira, things of that nature. So I am here to try to help fill that gap a little bit, build a bridge so that you can continue to grow and have better opportunities to get to where you want to get to. But that is not the purpose of the morning show. If I still haven't, this is like more stumbling it out to see what I want to do in the morning, when I can do it in the morning, try to figure something out. So we are just trying it out this week. It's been pretty cool so far. But I have my coffee here, right? Boom, bah, coffee, right? Hopefully you have your coffee, or you're in the gym, you have your protein shake, whatever it might be. Maybe you are currently in the middle of a set lifting 200-pound dumbbells. It is too early for sound effects, but here we are. All right. So let's do this. I want to get started off like this because we are a league of winners.
I mean, all we do is win, man. You know that.
All right. All we do is win. Okay. So let's get into the show. But just a reminder, today at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Bug Bite coming out. It is already scheduled to premiere. So if you see that on your timeline, click the thumbnail, hit the notification bell so you can know that every time so you can know when we go live, and you can be notified of when that video is being premiered. It is going to be about the 23andMe security breach. So keep that in mind. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put up our timer, and I'm going to start our 30-minute timer because we do not want to be here all morning, because, I can go on and on and on. All right, so our timer is going down. And also, if you see the live for Terraform on Sunday, hit the notification bell for that as well, because we will be continuing our trek through Terraform. Last night we were going through Cypress, and I got annoyed because JavaScript was being JavaScript, And you know me, I am not the most familiar person with JavaScript, so I'm going to. I almost got like after the show, had a meeting, and then after the meeting, I almost went down the rabbit hole of figuring it out. But I said, you know what? Nope. We are going to do that next week. We're going to figure it out. I'll probably do some research in the middle of the week, but we'll be trying different things to figure it out because this is not. I don't believe it. Well, it might be a Cypress issue, but I don't think it is. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Cypress. I'm not familiar with JavaScript, but this is why we do our software explorations. We are here to learn. We are in it to win it. All right. So, without further ado, let's get into our news stories for today. So, let's transition over to. All right, cool. So, let's zoom in a bit on this screen. Okay, cool. So the first story for today is that Bankman-Fried found guilty. All right, so let's read through the story. And it says Bankman-Fried found guilty. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried or Fried was found guilty Thursday on all 7 counts related to fraud and money laundering. He faces up to 115 years in prison. So it is 115 years in prison, right? You got that? I wouldn't even want to spend 115 minutes in county jail. Thank you very much. Nope, nope, nope. Not for me. The closest I have ever gotten to jail is bonding people out of jail as a former bail bondsman, but not being on the other side of the glass. I will not put my hand on the window and say, touch the window and feel the connection. Nope, nope, nope. Not happening.
Message.
All right. So let's keep reading. So he faces up to 115 years in prison for swiping billions in customer assets from his now collapsed cryptocurrency exchange, with some of the money going to real estate, investments, loan repayment, and political donations. In closing arguments Wednesday, the prosecution contended that Bankman-Fried took the money he knew it was wrong, but he did it anyways. The defense maintained customer funds were lost due to weak management and oversight, not any criminal activity. The conviction can be appealed, but not until sentencing, which the judge has set for March 28th, 2024. So be very careful, be very diligent where you put your money. I mean, FTX, it seems like it was a big enough deal that people felt confident putting their money in it. Like I think the Miami Heat had sold the naming rights to FTX if I remember correctly, and they even were fooled, scammed, bamboozled into the FTX scandal. All right. So let's take a few comments or repost comments. All right. So this says a few quick reactions. After sitting in the courtroom for 2 days, I walked away convinced he was guilty. There was almost no gray area. It was obvious. To that end, the jury decided to convict on all counts in about 4 hours. In 4 hours. That is very, very quick to convict. But if the evidence is right, then it is what it is. All right. And it may have little bearing on the sentencing, but FTX may recoup nearly all the missing $8 billion via an Anthropic and Bitcoin investments. Sam went from multi-billionaire to broke to convinced fraudster in record time. It only took about a year. And there are plenty of people who will go from multi-thousandaire to broke to fraudster in record time, and it only takes them about 30 days. So, Mr. Sam Bankman-Fried, you were ahead of the game because many people do what you do on a much lower and faster scale. Now, we know why people listen to their lawyer's advice and don't talk about legal proceedings. Sam helped cook himself via his inability to keep his mouth shut. You absolutely do not have to tweet through it. In the end, the SBF verdict means the early vid era is finally over. All right. And is anything else anymore? Was convicted on wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud against FTX customers and against Almeida research lenders. Anything else? What a difference a year makes. Last year, SBF when you have a three letter acronym, it can be a good thing or a bad thing. You know, like we have LBJ for LeBron James, and now you have SBF for Sam Bankman-Fried, which is getting fried right now. Gave his last interview at HK FinTech Week a week before FTX blew up. And that's too long to read. Well, that's good enough for this story. So let's move on. All right. The next story we are getting into is that one was not even planned, but that one just creeped in. Let's get to that one real quick. All right. Amazon closes clothing store. I didn't even know that Amazon had a clothing store, but it appeared that, and I will drop the link in the chat as well. So if case you want to look into it a little bit more, you are by all means welcome to. All right. So, and let's put the Amazon one in there too. All right. So it says it appears there are still some things Americans won't buy from Amazon, at least not in person. The retail behemoth said Thursday it is closing its 2 Amazon style stores just 17 months after it launched its apparel experiment with locations in Glendale, California and Columbus, Ohio. As rivals Walmart and Target have fought to claw market share away from Amazon online, it has sought to do the inverse and shore up its physical retail presence. The style shops are the latest casualties of these efforts. Others have included bookstores, mall kiosks, and mini marts. Amazon is hoping its supermarkets will buck the trend. It plans to continue investing in grocery locations with rising revenue from Whole Food markets supporting its expansion of Amazon Fresh. Bloomberg reports. All right. So, did you know that Amazon had 2 clothing stores? I had absolutely no idea that they had any clothing stores, but they no longer have any clothing stores, and I am now correct that they don't have any. So, um, you know, one thing I will say about Amazon is that they are very innovative and they are not afraid to try different things out. And if it doesn't work, they adjust, they pivot. They do not hold on to the dream forever, right? It is all about it is all about the data, what's happening, and if something blows up, it blows up. I'm sure there are I'm sure the amount of different ventures that Amazon has tried is more than we can even imagine. But they have, but and something hit, right? Let's say I'm sure they like when they started with the Amazon Web Services, it took some time to get off the ground, but now it is the biggest cloud provider that the most used one, and now you have Microsoft Azure following and Google Cloud Platform following. So without trying these things, and the good thing is that through their regular like through starting selling books online, right? They were able to get to where they are today as being like one of the biggest online retailers and having like the biggest cloud platform provider and so they take chances and they are not afraid to fail forward, but fail forward they did in the two Amazon style stores that they had. I'm curious to know the format of those Amazon styles, but just not right now. All right, so let's push forward to let's see if there's any interesting comments. Or maybe they might have a picture in here. So Amazon opened up two apparel stores last year, one in LA and the other in Columbus, touting the tech and great brands. Sources have been telling me that the e-commerce giant struggles to run brick and mortar retails in general, and the store in particular got some snarky reviews. And this is how the store looked. And the stores are closed. Let's be real. Among friends, Amazon ruins retail. Look what Amazon did to Whole Foods. Have you been to a Whole Food lately? Sky high prices coupled with corner cutting, crappy inventory, mishandled food, unripe produce, unclean salad. Okay, all right, lady. Um, I don't know. The Whole Foods by my house is pretty nice. I don't know. Maybe it's the area that you're living in. But I also don't go to Whole Foods all the time. Because the prices have always been sky high in my opinion. So, anyways, all right. Well, that's good enough for this Amazon story, and let's move on to the next. All right. So, holiday hiring plans look bleak. Are you looking for a seasonal holiday job? Well, according to this LinkedIn article, it does not look very bright and present for us this year. So it says holiday hiring plans are almost half. Did we read that correctly? Almost half of what they were a year ago, with companies announcing the fewest seasonal jobs at this point since 2013. Hmm. Does that sound like the R word or what? Outplacement firm Challenger, Gray, and Christmas has tracked plans to hire 573,300 seasonal workers through October. While the timing of such announcements can vary depending on on business needs, lower sales forecasts by toy maker Hasbro and Mattel recently suggest a less than merry shopping season. Inflation, higher borrowing costs, lower savings, and the resumption of student loan repayments are all expected to depress spending in the current quarter. Leading hiring plans by a wide margin are Amazon 25,000, Target 100,000, and UPS 100,000. Continuing jobless claims a proxy for how hard it is for unemployment Americans to find a new job hit a 6-month high in the week ended October 21st, the most recent data shows. Labor productivity increased the most during the third quarter in 3 years, helping to offset unit labor costs, a separate report Shows Thursday. Ooh, you know what that sounds like to me?
I'm in a bind, Nate.
That's what it sounds like. And this is going to be a very, very cold winter. Let me drop this link in the chat as well. All right. So let's see a quick few comments. Let's see what we have. U.S. companies are taking their time to lay out seasonal hiring plans, which is adding to angst that this year's holiday season may not be as cheery. Okay. Read that. All right, let's keep going a little bit. So things are no longer by the book, no more simply blowing the dust off the old, tried and true plans. Budgets are not as robust as they have been, so no more throwing bodies at the work to be done. They'll figure it out, hopefully, before the pain. What if a lot of these jobs are being automated and now people are not getting hired to do these jobs, so there is no money flowing into the economy to be able to go out and purchase a bunch of things that you do not need for a bunch of people you do not care about. And let's do this quick last one. If you haven't started hiring for the holiday season yet, you are late. The good news, however, is that across the country, large retail employers are more than likely cut back on the number of seasonal workers they plan to hire this year. All right, and here's my question: do you still need them? If not, why not? Where are you looking for them? What's been their response this year? And that's to answer the questions. You therefore may not need to worry much about not being able to find great seasonal workers this year. Should you still need them? Okay, whatever. It is what it is. So let's move on to our next article. But need a coffee break. And we shall move on indeed. So we are at to add more salt to the wound. 2023 holiday sales expected to slow. As we near the unofficial start to the holiday shopping season, we are starting to get a glimpse of what sales might look like. While sales are projected to rise between 3% and 4% from last year to as much as 966 billion, according to the National Retail Federation, this is marked below pandemic spikes of 9.3% in 2020 and 13.5% in 2021. All that PPP money was used to do holiday shopping, apparently.
Message.
The likely boost in spending could be attributed to higher wages and improved job security, but paired with high interest rates, elevated prices, and dwindling savings, analysts do expect some moderation. So costs are rising, student loans are coming back, you don't have a job, your degree in whatever it is, fashion or something, is not getting you the job that you want, and you are stuck, and you're saying, this is you right now.
I hate it here. I want to go home. I'm in a bind, Nate.
And you plan to spend in moderation, I would say you should go extremely not spending and get your life right. Okay, get your life right. It is It's not worth it. Okay. So, higher wages may encourage some consumers to spend more this year. So dumb. But many will also hunt for deals to challenge still elevated prices and higher interest rates. So I'll tell you this, right? If I buy my son something, he plays more with the box than he does with whatever it is that we buy him. So, this reminds me of the cats. You buy the cat something and they just want to play with the box all day. All right. So, you know, be very let's just be smart, all right? Let's just be smart. I know that it is not the most easiest thing for us to do because we get very, very emotional, right? But let's be smart this year, all right? Let's be smart this year.
Message.
All right. Now, any other ones? Let's see. U.S. holiday sales will grow at a slower pace this year amid economic headwinds such as high interest rates, the National Retail Federation said this morning. And you know what? Maybe the high interest rates are there. They should be doing you a favor so you don't spend money that you shouldn't be spending and you are more careful, right? Nonetheless, inflation, rising rates, and the recent restart of student loan payments are creating financial strain. But they're not going to pay their student loans anyways, right? What they're going to do, they're going to protest and beg the person at the top to have me and you pay for their student loans.
The fact is that I don't remember.
That's what it goes. All right, so let's move on to our next article. And this one says, where do Americans prefer to work? All right. Office life certainly isn't everyone's cup of tea. According to LinkedIn's latest workforce confidence survey, the majority of Americans would prefer to work hybrid or remote. Only 58%? I thought this number would be so much higher. Let me drop this link in the chat real quick. What was the name of this one? All right. And let's go back to this one. And I'll drop this one in the chat as well. This one is. All right. So, office life certainly isn't everyone's cup of tea. According to LinkedIn's latest workforce confidence survey, the majority of Americans at 58%, which I thought it would be so much higher than 58%, would prefer to work hybrid or remote because so many people that I come into contact with, I want to work remote. I want to work remote. I want to work remote. All right. Which I do not mind working remote. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Right. However, preferences differ from generation to generation. Millennials are most likely to prefer remote 33% and least likely to want to work on site 30%, trailed by 40% of Gen Xers. By contrast, the youngest cohort, Gen Z, are likely to want to work fully remote, a mere 19%, while 50% of baby boomers would like to mostly work on site. That is not very surprising to me. All right, let's take a look real quick. So this person says, I prefer remote work after 32 years of on site work and now working remotely. I found that I finish projects faster and feel my quality of life is significantly better. I think workers who have a long commute, especially in LA, would agree that the traffic aggravation of commuting to and from work have long term negative effects on one's state of wellness and fulfillment. Some might say it makes you resilient. I don't know. But I would say it does. Traffic does suck. I hate traffic. All right. This one I prefer fully remote. This is due to having a very long commute for over a decade. It really hits your pocketbooks with transportation and maintenance costs. Also takes more time away from the family in non-working hours. A 10-hour workday becomes a 12 to 13 while a long commute. That is also true. However, you could consider moving closer to your workplace if you have to travel. A lot of times we make decisions that have us locked into our place. And trust me, I've made those same decisions in the past. All right. And let's read the last one. I think the youngest generation in the workforce is always considered the lazy or the entitled generation. I remember the same thing being said about millennials a few years ago. While Gen Z wants work life balance, I think this generation is eager to climb necessary ladders. Additionally, Gen Z might not yet have kids or dogs they'd like to stay home with. I know I struggled going remote at my first full time job due to the loss of connection with my coworkers, but I certainly enjoyed the flexibility. That I can agree with. But like I've said on the channel before, my work life balance is once my work is done at my job, my work starts on my own so I can continue to get better and level up, continue to win because you know that all we do is win. All right. All we do is win.
You either win with us or you watch us win.
That is facts. All right. Let's go to our last story before we shut it down. We wrap it up and we get on with our day. All right. The last one is Tesla the union's next target? This would be a great battle between Elon Musk and what's his name? Richard Fain? So let's get some coffee real quick. Let's drop the link in the chat for the story. All right. So it says the United Auto Workers, UAW, 6-week strike not only won members higher pay, it also ensured their job security as the industry moves towards more electric vehicle production. The union's tentative deal with the Big Three makes certain that workers will earn comparable union wages when they move to making EV batteries, which will be produced in existing American factories. Also, thanks to the deal. But UAW's next challenge will be to convince Tesla, Honda, and other non unionized automakers to follow the same path. I have a hard time seeing that happen. Um, I do not think that Elon Musk, for instance, is going to be held hostage by the UAW or any attempt to be unionized. And the same for Honda and other unionized automakers. They see like honestly, the big three, they were the big three who had issues in 2008 during the auto crisis, which needed to get. I know Ford didn't get a bailout, but Chrysler, which is now Stellantis, and who's the other one? General Motors. They needed bailouts, right? And right, I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure a part of it is the deals that they make with these unions, which really does a number on them, right? And now going to like I don't like for me personally, right? I don't see any company in their right mind who would get in like you're pretty much getting in bed with the mob, right? So I definitely don't see Tesla and Elon Musk the way that he is like falling for this, right? And Honda or whatever because um I could quickly see them. I could see Tesla just finding more ways to automate and just becoming a fully they're already a technology company, right? I don't think Tesla is a auto manufacturer. I think they're a technology company which uses technology to manufacture cars, right? And that's why the Teslas have so much software and all of this type of stuff, and they get their updates via the over the air, right? OTA, and they keep pushing it that way. They have a subscription service, all that for Tesla. It is not they're not auto manufacturer. So good luck with and here's the thing. If the UAW, the United Auto Workers, try to come at them saying, "Oh, we need to unionize," they can say that, "Well, we're not an auto manufacturer company. We are a technology company which uses technology to build cars, and we can just, for the manufacturing part, we're just going to build more robots, more automation, right? And we're going to hire more engineers, which do not fall under auto workers, right? And for Honda and other unionized automakers, yeah, I that is going to be a tough sell after they saw what happened to the big three, they call them. Now they are like, well, what happened to the big three in Miami? They went to four finals, they won two, and LeBron James left expeditiously. So, and now look at the state of the Heat. So, be careful. And all right, let's finish it up real quick before we wrap up for today. Last time the union tried to get a foothold at Tesla, CEO Elon Musk pushed back hard. You see, I didn't even read that part yet, but the National Labor Relations Board ultimately ruled the company had violated labor laws in doing so, and it is probably cheaper to pay the fines for those violated labor laws than to get in bed with the mob and be controlled by the UAW, who is just spearheaded by Richard Bain or whatever his name is. Toyota has already taken action to stave off a union incursion, raising wages for non-union manufacturing workers about 9%. And I'm not going to tell you what I would do if I was these companies, but I would say this. My recommendation is to, although it's a really big book, at least read the summary or find out what it's about. But check out the book Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. And I don't think companies have the strength to, or the company. I don't think companies have the strength to actually do something like that. But it does show what happens when the top of the companies fight back. All right. So let's see. But another significant win for the union is to protect for workers affected by the shift to electric vehicles. Yada yada yada. Toyota just announced 9% wage increases starting January 1st. All of that good stuff. Anyways, and they're okay. So non-union Toyota boosts hourly wages to 9.2%, cuts progression time as UAW votes await. Blah blah blah. Might take the negotiation would make an excellent case study, but perhaps wait a few years to see the true impact. Yeah, the true impact is they'll probably all get, like, half of them get laid off, and they are going to be suffering more than they were. So we shall see. We shall see. UAW went full fire and brimstone. They did. They got way more than I expected. Crazy anchor, 40% raise, a 4-day work week, and ended landing 30% of pay increases along with a lot of other benefits. The question to me is, who will make the cut? Because somebody's going to get those benefits while a majority of them get kicked out. And then they are going to be saying,
I'm in a bind, Nate.
yes, they are. So that's it for today. Let's go back here. And if you tuned into the show this morning, thank you for following along. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show, actually. I have to figure out what I'm going to do because I also want to do some coding challenges, which I think will also be much more beneficial in the morning to get our day started right. But today, maybe I'll save the news for Friday. I don't know. I will figure it out. But I do appreciate you being here. I had a great time reviewing these news stories with you. And I hope to see you at noon for the bug bite, and then on Sunday for our software explorations, continuing through Terraform. But until then, until I see you again, you guys have a beautiful, beautiful Friday. Don't spend all your money in one place. You know, make the right decisions, the right choices, the right investments. And until next time, I will see you again. Have a great day.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.